A plant richer in protein than spinach grows in every backyard. Most people spray it with poison. This same species fed ancient civilizations for over 7,000 years. Archaeological evidence shows it sustained communities across continents. Modern agriculture calls it a noxious weed. Nutritionists who analyze it are shocked by the results. Gram for gram, it contains more iron than beef liver, more calcium than milk, more vitamin A than carrots. The seeds rival quinoa in protein content. Both plants share the same genus. One sells for premium prices in health food stores. The other gets torn out and destroyed. History reveals a pattern. The most nutritious plants often become the most persecuted. This isn't coincidence, it's systematic suppression. Nature offers abundance for free. The system cannot profit from what grows wild, so it must be eliminated. But the plant refuses to disappear. It thrives in disturbed soil, adapts to any climate, produces up to 100,000 seeds per plant. The more it's attacked, the stronger it returns. Chenopodium album carries a botanical secret. It belongs to the same family as quinoa. Ancient Andean cultures cultivated quinoa as a sacred crop. North American and European peoples relied on lamb's quarters instead. The plants are nearly identical in nutritional profile. Both contain complete proteins with all essential amino acids. Both produce protein-rich seeds that can be ground into flour. But lamb's quarters requires zero cultivation effort. It appears wherever soil is turned. Studies from agricultural universities reveal disturbing facts. A single cup of cooked lamb's quarters provides more nutrients than 3 cups of kale. Oxalic acid levels match those in spinach exactly. Yet spinach is celebrated while lamb's quarters is condemned. The distinction isn't botanical, it's economic. Wild abundance threatens commercial vegetable production. Historical records show this pattern repeating. Plants that grow without human intervention get reclassified as invasive threats. The terminology itself reveals the agenda. Nature doesn't invade. It reclaims what was always its domain. Laboratory analysis exposes an uncomfortable truth. Lamb's quarters contain 17% protein when dried. Spinach contains 5%. The calcium content exceeds dairy products. Iron levels surpass red meat. Vitamin C concentration rivals citrus fruits. Omega-3 fatty acids appear in the leaves. These measurements come from university agricultural extensions, not fringe sources. Official government nutrition databases confirm the data. Yet no mainstream health publication promotes this plant. The silence isn't accidental. Commercial agriculture depends on controlled scarcity. Hybrid seeds that don't reproduce. Fertilizers that deplete soil. Pesticides that create dependency cycles. A plant that grows freely and returns every year disrupts the entire model. Food companies cannot patent what nature provides universally, so the narrative must be controlled. Wild edibles get labeled dangerous. Foraging becomes marginalized as a fringe activity. 3 generations grow up thinking food only comes from stores. The disconnection becomes complete. Meanwhile, the most nutritious vegetation on Earth gets poisoned in driveways and garden beds. Evolution favors plants that thrive under stress. Lamb's quarters demonstrates remarkable adaptive intelligence. It germinates in compacted soil where cultivated crops fail, tolerates both drought and flood conditions, grows in acidic and alkaline soils equally, resists most common plant diseases, thrives without fertilizer because it mines minerals from deep soil layers. The root system penetrates hard clay, brings nutrients to the surface. When the plant dies, it enriches the topsoil. This is nature's terraforming mechanism. Disturbed land becomes fertile again through pioneer species. Ancient farmers understood this cycle. They encouraged lamb's quarters in fallowed fields. The plant prepared soil for future crops. Modern agriculture sees only competition. Chemicals eliminate the helpers. Soil becomes sterile. Yields decline. More inputs become necessary. The cycle of degradation accelerates. But nature's solution grows in every crack and corner, waiting for recognition. The plant that survives Roundup applications isn't a superweed. It's a superplant revealing human folly. Most people discard the most valuable part. The seeds contain the concentrated nutrition. Each plant produces between 20,000 and 100,000 seeds. These tiny grains contain 15 to 18% protein, higher than wheat, comparable to quinoa. Ancient peoples across Europe, Asia, and North America harvested these seeds deliberately. Archaeological sites reveal lamb's quarters seeds in storage pits dating back 7,000 years. The seeds were ground into flour, mixed with other grains, used in porridges and breads. This practice continued until industrial agriculture displaced traditional food systems. Now the knowledge survives only in ethnobotanical records. The seeds require minimal processing, simple threshing and winnowing, no complex machinery needed. They cook faster than rice, have a mild, nutty flavor, can be popped like amaranth. Added to granola, sprouted for additional nutrition. One backyard patch could produce several pounds of grain annually, completely free, completely nutritious, completely ignored. Culinary prejudice keeps people from trying wild foods. Lamb's quarters challenges this immediately. The flavor surpasses spinach in blind taste tests. The texture is more tender. The leaves are less bitter. Young shoots can be eaten raw in salads. Mature leaves work better cooked. Steaming for 3 minutes is sufficient. The greens reduce like spinach, but hold their structure better. They don't become slimy. The taste is mild and slightly nutty. Chefs who discover this plant start using it regularly. High-end restaurants in Europe serve it as a delicacy. In Greece, it's called vlita and appears in traditional dishes. In India, it's known as bathua and features in regional cuisine. Mexico recognizes it as quilits, the same plant, different names, same nutritional excellence. Only in industrial nations is it completely rejected. The propaganda against wild foods runs deep, but a single harvest changes perspectives. Once people taste the difference, commercial spinach becomes disappointing. This creates a problem for the food industry. Educated consumers become independent consumers. Nature provides this plant automatically. No seeds need to be purchased. No soil preparation required. It appears wherever ground is disturbed. Gardens, agricultural fields, waste areas, sidewalk cracks. The plant prefers nitrogen-rich soil but tolerates poor conditions. Full sun produces the most growth. Partial shade works adequately. The first plants emerge in early spring, continue appearing throughout summer. In warm climates, they grow year-round. Harvesting is simple. Cut the top 6 inches when plants reach 8 to 12 inches tall. This encourages branching. More leaves develop. A single plant can be harvested multiple times. The more it's cut, the more it produces. This is the opposite of scarcity-based agriculture. Abundance creates more abundance. The system requires 0 inputs, no water, no fertilizer, no pest control, no purchased seeds. Just observation and timing. Ancient societies built food security on such principles. Modern society has forgotten completely. Traditional medicine systems recognized lamb's quarters as therapeutic, not just nutritious. Active medicinal compounds appear throughout the plant. Saponins in the leaves act as natural anti-inflammatories. The plant contains significant levels of carotenoids. These protect against cellular damage. Beta-cyanins provide additional antioxidant capacity. Traditional herbalists used it for digestive issues. The leaves were applied as poultices for minor injuries. Tea made from the plant helped with respiratory problems. Modern research confirms some of these applications. Studies show antimicrobial properties against common bacteria. The plant contains compounds that support liver function. Its high mineral content addresses deficiency-related conditions naturally. Indigenous American tribes used it as a preventive food medicine, eaten regularly to maintain health rather than treat illness. This concept of food as medicine disappeared with industrial food systems. But the plant remains, offering the same benefits available to anyone who recognizes it. The pharmacy grows in the parking lot. Commercial seed companies create dependency through terminator genetics. Hybrid seeds don't breed true. Farmers must purchase new seeds annually. Lamb's Quarters operates on the opposite principle. Every plant produces abundant viable seeds. These seeds remain dormant in soil for up to 40 years. A single harvest establishes a permanent seed bank. The seeds don't require special storage. They tolerate freezing temperatures, survive dry conditions, germinate when conditions become favorable. This is evolutionary insurance. The plant prepares for uncertainty. Ancient farmers recognized this reliability. They allowed some plants to go to seed intentionally, ensuring future abundance. Modern gardeners can adopt the same strategy. Let a few plants mature fully. The seeds will self-sow, creating a renewable food source. No corporations involved, no patents, no artificial scarcity, just biology functioning as designed. This threatens the entire model of controlled agriculture, which explains the aggressive campaign against all self-seeding food plants. Fear of poisoning prevents people from foraging. This fear is largely manufactured. Lamb's Quarters is distinctive and easy to identify. The leaves have a diamond or goosefoot shape, hence the common name goosefoot. Young leaves display a whitish coating. This is natural, not a disease or contamination. The coating is made of tiny bladder cells. They give the leaves a frosted appearance. The stems are often striped with red or purple. The plant grows upright, branching from a central stem. Flowers appear as dense clusters of tiny green blooms. They're barely noticeable. The whole plant has a characteristic shape. Once learned, it's unmistakable. There are no deadly lookalikes. Some relatives in the same family are equally edible. The greatest danger is misidentification with plants from different families. But basic botanical observation eliminates this risk. The squared stem, the alternate leaves, the mealy coating. These features combine uniquely. Proper identification takes 10 minutes of focused study. Then the plant becomes recognizable everywhere. Timing determines both nutrition and flavor. Young plants offer the best eating quality. Harvest when leaves are tender, usually when plants reach 6 to 10 inches tall. At this stage, the greens are mild and succulent. As plants mature, the leaves become tougher. The oxalic acid content increases. This is true of spinach as well. Older leaves require longer cooking, but they remain nutritious. The ideal approach is continuous harvesting. Take the top portion. The plant regrows from lower nodes. This extends the harvest season significantly. Seeds become the focus later in the season. Watch for the flower clusters to develop. They'll form dense greenish spikes. As seeds mature, they turn from green to reddish-brown. Harvest when seeds rub off easily. Cut the entire seed head. Dry it thoroughly. Thresh by rubbing between hands. Winnow to remove chaff. The process takes minutes. Yields pounds of nutritious grain. Ancient peoples timed their harvests precisely. Modern foragers can learn the same rhythm. Cooking techniques determine digestibility. Raw leaves work well in small quantities. Large amounts of raw greens can be hard to digest. Light cooking improves availability of nutrients. Steaming for 3 to 5 minutes is optimal. The greens wilt like spinach, but retain better texture. Sautéing with garlic creates a simple side dish. The leaves absorb flavors well. They work in any recipe calling for cooked greens, soups, stews, casseroles, pasta dishes. The seeds require different treatment. Rinse them thoroughly first. This removes saponins that create bitterness. Then cook like rice. Use a 2-to-1 water-to-seed ratio. Simmer for 15 minutes. The grains become fluffy and separate. They can be used in salads, added to soups, made into porridge, ground into flour. The flour works well mixed with wheat flour. A 50-50 ratio produces nutritious bread. Ancient peoples knew these techniques. They've been forgotten, but they're simple to relearn. When people become self-sufficient, power structures weaken. This explains the hostility toward wild edibles. Lamb's quarters represents food independence. It cannot be controlled or commodified. Agricultural extension offices classify it as a problematic weed. Recommend aggressive elimination. Landscaping guides suggest herbicide application. The messaging is consistent across institutions, but the reasoning is flawed. The plant doesn't harm cultivated crops significantly. Studies show minimal yield impact. The real threat is philosophical. A population that can feed itself from wild plants doesn't need industrial agriculture, doesn't require grocery stores, can't be manipulated through food prices. This creates problems for centralized control systems. So the plant must be vilified, made to seem dangerous or worthless. The campaign succeeds through repetition. 3 generations now believe wild edibles are inherently risky. That food security comes only through dependence on supply chains. The deception is nearly complete. But the plant keeps growing, waiting for recognition, offering abundance to anyone willing to look. Understanding begins with observation. Walk through disturbed areas, parks, edges of agricultural fields, vacant lots. The plant grows everywhere. Learn its features. Harvest a small amount. Prepare it simply. Taste the difference. Share the experience. Knowledge spreads through demonstration. Ancient food systems can be rebuilt. Starting with one plant, one person, one meal, the seeds can be saved, shared with neighbors, planted intentionally. A food forest begins with pioneer species. Lamb's quarters is one of nature's pioneers. It prepares the way for other plants, enriches soil, provides nutrition, requires nothing in return. This is how ecosystems function, how humans can function. If the programming is overcome, the plant offers a choice: dependence or independence, scarcity or abundance, fear or knowledge. The decision belongs to each individual, but the opportunity exists for everyone. Growing, waiting, abundant, free.